Have you ever asked the question, what is an understudy? What does an understudy do? What is required of an understudy? Can I be an understudy? Am I an understudy? Well, allow me to answer these questions and tell you a few anecdotes about my life as an understudy. Hello everyone, my name is DiffeRant Jeff, and I am currently an actor as well as a YouTuber. I'm trying to make movies, making a ton of parodies, and making other types of things, and painting and writing songs, and I'm also an understudy in an off-Broadway play right now. I have been an understudy in 4 Broadway musicals and now 1 Broadway play. I've also done things that are not understudies, and I aspire to not be an understudy because what I truly love to do is to perform. And in this case, with my current job, I am an understudy who is an off-stage understudy, which means you sit in the dressing room and you wait to see if you are needed. If anything happens to the lead performer or the performer you cover, they will give you a call and you'll have to sometimes go on with many hours of notice. Or if somebody takes a vacation, you may have months of notice. Or in some cases, and I have experienced this, you will have to go on in the middle of a show sometimes. You may just be sitting there in your dressing room and somebody will need to call out for whatever reason. Could be illness or injury or other personal reasons, but it does happen, especially in a long-running show. So other opportunities I've done as an understudy where I was actually in the production as an ensemble member, and then you sometimes get promoted within the show. But in this case, I'm an understudy who is an offstage cover. So I have no set performances to be on. So my job is strictly to watch and learn and study the script and be all memorized and know all the staging and understand the relationship between the other actor without having had any practice or rehearsal with the other actors. And you just have to go on and be ready and not screw them up. That's the big key. I've gone on with some pretty well-known performers, and if you're not in the right spot, they'll grab your wrist like you're a 3-year-old and yank you across the stage and put you in the right spot. And sometimes they're very sweet and kind about it, and sometimes they're not. But it's a great job. Understudies deserve a lot of credit. And I do love being an understudy. It's thrilling and it's an honor. It's a really highly skilled position, although sometimes in our own minds and in my mind, I want the job. I want to be the job. I don't want to be the understudy for the job. And I'm striving for that. So stay tuned, follow me on my career, and I will get there eventually. But a few stories I had. In my first job, I was a swing. Now, a swing is a type of understudy where you cover many roles within a show. So I actually understudied 9 tracks, and it was the Rocky Horror Show on Broadway. It was a Broadway musical based on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And this was in the year 2000. And I had just come out of college. I was very green, very excited. And I had gone through, I think it was 7 or 8 callback auditions. So you go in for your first round audition and you kind of let go of it because you don't hear, and then your agent calls you and says, hey, you got to call back. You got to prepare more material and go back in. They really liked you. So you get so excited, you go back in. And then, I did great. And then there's maybe sometimes a second callback. I can't recall exactly, but I do know there was an opportunity for me to get one of the roles in the show. And there was some buzz, my agents, and there was some vibe. I might have been actually cast as one of the roles in this production. So I was very, very excited. But then they kept saying, oh, it went to someone else, and you let it go. Your heart breaks. You let it go. You move on. Then a few weeks later, it kept coming back. It kept coming back to me. I had 7 or 8 auditions for this show, particularly. And I ended up getting cast as the swing, which was new to me. I didn't really know about that, but that just meant I understudied all 6 ensemble tracks. That was 4 men and 2 women, and it was a kind of a rotating. You had to know every little possible permutation, and I covered 3 principal roles in that show as well. So in that case, I did the entire run of the production, 1.5 years, and I was desperately hoping to get promoted so that I would be in the show every day. But I never got the promotion because you're so valuable as an understudy, especially when you know multiple roles. And it takes a lot of time from the stage management and the casting to hire people to fill your spot. So the producers understandably don't really want to hire other people to replace you. They'd rather keep you where you are. So that was frustrating, although it was an amazing job, amazing experience. I did get to go on stage all of the time for all of the roles, and it was very fun, especially for a young guy out of college. But I never got the promotion. My second show, I did some other things also. Like I said, I wasn't always an understudy, but another show I was in the ensemble for Hairspray, my next show, and I was an understudy for 2 of the principal characters in that, Link and Corny Collins. But there was a brief moment where somebody was leaving the show, and I actually was spoken to by casting and told that I was going to get a bigger role in the show. It was kind of one of the most amazing and kind of surreal moments in my life. I still sometimes don't even believe it happened. It was on the subway platform for the 1 train. 28th Street in New York City, and I had just had a big callback for the role. It was all chaotic because the person was already in the show, but they were going to go do a movie, and so they needed someone to come in and fill in the lead role, and I had done so well. I really did well. I had all these great ideas, and the casting director and his assistant saw me on the street, and they told me that I had gotten the role, and I ran up to my agent's office, and we all were like bewildered and excited, maybe not bewildered, we were excited, and we celebrated, and then by the time I had gotten home to my apartment 45 minutes later, it was gone, and another actor came back and filled the spot, and I did not get the role. In fact, I did not get cast in the show at all at that point. It wasn't until a year or so later that I came in as a replacement for an ensemble track, and I waited for a year and a half in the hopes to get the promotion into the main role. I did not get that promotion. So in other opportunities I've had, I have done some leading roles, I've done some tours and some regional theaters, and so those opportunities have been amazing. But you're always aware of the understudy. You know, sometimes your director will say, hey, even if you're sick, I want you to perform. I don't want you to miss the show. And you'll be there in the background, and the understudy will be like, but he's sick, I want to go on. But it's really up, the producers and the directors, they want their main guy in there. So what else can I tell you about understudies? I've done some other stuff, and I'll just tell you, it's an awesome job, and the thrill of getting to go on as an understudy when you have barely ever done the part and the audience is there, it is so exciting and thrilling and joyous. And I've had a lot of really great success as an understudy. But it also is very frustrating because if you're like me, and some people don't want the promotion. I know some people, for instance, haven't even been on and maybe didn't even want to go on, but I always want to go on. And I've had some long-running shows. One of my more recent jobs was a very long-running Broadway show that I understudied, and there's a term called a hunger study, and that's kind of a joke, but I think I actually became one where I wanted so badly to get the role that I maybe wasn't even acting, as perfect as I should have. I was probably a little bit too sweaty and excited, and it's just a hard gig. So that's just a little bit of a look into what an understudy is. By all means, if you're interested and you have any more questions, post in the comments. And if there's enough questions, I could possibly do a follow-up vlog or even live stream on this. But I just thought I'd chat with you guys a little bit about it. So here I am in my new job, an off-Broadway play, a two-person play where I'm understudying. And it's great. It's an awesome opportunity. I don't know if I'll perform or not, but I do love the process. I love being involved with theater or film or anything. It's beautiful to be able to live in a world that really is about art, and art really is about affecting people and helping people, enlightening people, making them smile, laugh, think, and that's what I'm all about. I have to question myself some days. What do I want this for? I want to be a well-known actor. I want to be famous even because I want to have influence. But why? It's because I want to make people smile. I want them to be inspired. I want them to laugh. I want them to think. I want them to go into their own lives and find ways to do their own art. And it really is there. That really is what it is. So I woke up today just with this idea to make this vlog, and here it is. Now I'm going to film a new parody. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and watching this stuff as well as the other stuff. Have a great day.
Put it out there and set it free. I really feel criminally shut, afraid, until I'm trusted. Extremities have indeed rusted in this big room, full of true bloom. I'm a shy sniper stuck